Dear students, welcome to all of you in your physics class. I hope all of you are good. Today we are going to start Unit 9 Electricity, Chapter 11, Topic Internal Resistance, textbook page number 208 to 211. Dear students, today we are going to start internal resistance. Here in the given picture you can observe there is a circuit made up of wire, resistor and a battery. Three components are there in front of us. Now we are just going to discuss firstly the EMF of the battery. EMF of the battery, here you can observe there is a cell, there is a battery in front of us having a positive and negative terminal, and the EMF of the battery is 1.5 volt. EMF is basically the maximum energy required to move a charge from one place to the other place. So we called, if we are just going to connect the voltmeter along with that battery across the battery, so it will give us the value 1.5 volt. That is the value of EMF of the battery. On the other side, if we are just going to observe that in the second picture, you can observe that there is a short circuit here in front of you. You will observe that here inside the battery there is an existence of resistance, and now we will say that this internal resistance of the battery is the resistance basically that is inherent in the source itself. The internal resistance of EMF is the resistance inherent in the source itself. Some energy is transferred into other form as the work is done in driving a charge through the source itself. For example, when you use a power supply or other source of EMF, you cannot assume that it is providing you with the exact voltage across its terminal as suggested by the value of its EMF. For this we have several reasons. The supply may not be made to a high degree of precision, or batteries may have been or become flat. Moreover, there is more important factors, which is that all sources of EMF have an internal resistance for a power supply. This may be due to the wires and component inside, whereas for a cell the internal resistance is due to the chemicals within it. Experiment shows that voltage across the terminals of the battery, or we can say terminals of the power supply, depend on the circuit of which it is part. In particular, the voltage across the power supply terminals decreases if it is required to supply more current. This means that if the voltage decrease, then the current will increase, and if the current will decrease, then the voltage will increase. Dear students, here you can observe that batteries have an internal resistance. So here in the given circuit you can observe that there are two resistances in the given circuit. The very first one is denoted by capital R, which we called external resistance, and the second one is there inside the battery, which we called internal resistance and is denoted by small r. The circuit now have two resistors in, and the internal resistance of the battery, small r, is very small. Capital R is much larger. The total resistance of this circuit is R total, that is equal to capital R plus small r. So we can write it like this. E is basically EMF, which shows epsilon, that is equal to terminal potential difference. Terminal potential difference can be written as I capital R plus voltage across the battery, that is equivalent to I small r. Here the same amount of current will flow throughout the circuit. The mathematical form can be written like this. E, which shows electromotive force EMF, is equivalent to potential difference V plus IR. I is the current, capital R is the external resistance, or we can say load resistance, and small r is equivalent to internal resistance. So we can also write it E EMF, that is equivalent to I into R plus small r. Dear students, here in the given circuit you can observe that there is a rheostat, that's a variable resistor that is connected. The one side of the rheostat is connected with ammeter, which is further connected with the terminal of the battery, and the other side of the rheostat will also be connected with the terminal of battery. And you can observe that a voltmeter is connected across the battery, and the very first picture shows a circuit for determining the EMF and internal resistance of a power supply. In the given picture, you can observe that graph shows that when voltage across the terminals of a power supply might decrease as the supplied current increase. This is because the charges moving round a circuit have to pass through the external component and through the internal resistance of the power supply. These charges gain electrical energy from the power supply. This energy is lost as a thermal energy as the charges pass through the external component and through the internal resistance of the power supply. In the result, the power supply and the batteries get warm when they are being used. I'm going to give you one example to you. That let's try using a cell to light a small torch bulb. So what will happen? We will feel the cell before connecting to the bulb, and then feel it again after the bulb has been lit for about 15 seconds. The reason for this heating effect is that same amount of electrical potential energy of the charges is transformed to internal energy as they do work against the internal resistance of the cell. It can often help to solve problems if we show the internal resistance small r of a source of EMF explicitly in circuit. Here we are representing a cell as if it were a perfect cell of EMF E, together with a separate resistor of resistance R. The dashed line enclosing E and R represents the fact that these two are in fact a single component. As we know that when the cell is connected to the external resistor of the resistance capital R. We can determine current here, and you can see that capital R and small r are in series with each other. The current I is the same for both of these resistors, and the combined resistance of the circuit is then capital R plus small r. So we can write it E equals to I into R plus capital R plus small r. Also, we have to keep this thing in mind that we cannot measure the EMF of the cell directly, because we can only connect a voltmeter across its terminal. The terminal potential difference V across the cell is always the same as the potential difference across the resistor. One more thing I want to add. What is terminal potential difference? The potential difference across the terminal of a source and is dependent on the current that is taken from the source. So we can say V equals to IR will be less than the EMF by an amount IR. The quantity IR is the potential difference across the internal resistance. If we combine these two equations, so we get V equals to E minus IR. E is the EMF of the source, I is the current of the source, or we can say current in the source. Small r is the internal resistance of the source. Here we can observe that the terminal potential difference is equal to EMF minus potential difference across the internal resistance. As we know that the potential difference across the internal resistance indicates the energy transfer to the internal resistance of the supply. If you short circuit a battery with a piece of wire, a large current will flow and the battery will get warm as energy is transferred within it. This is also why you may damage a power supply by trying to make it supply a larger current than it is designed to give. So we can say that the potential difference across a power source V equals to epsilon minus IR. So here in the given page you can observe, to find the EMF and internal resistance of the cell, start the equation. Rearrange to give V equals to minus Ri plus epsilon. Since epsilon and small r are constant, so that's just the equation of a straight line. Here you know that y equals to mx plus c, mx is equal to gradient equals to slope plus c is basically the y-intercept. So the intercept on the vertical axis is E, that's epsilon, and the gradient is negative r. Here I'm just going to give you an example from the daily life. Let us suppose a battery having 6 volt, and on voltmeter it will be equal to 5.5 volt. Why a voltmeter didn't get a full 6 volt? Let us consider we are just going to connect a voltmeter along with battery, we can say across the battery. So what will happen? Here we will observe that why a voltmeter didn't get a full 6 volt. The reason is that it is because some amount in 6 volt is being lost in the battery before it even gets to the circuit to be using the rest of the circuit. So we can say that the total voltage equals to the voltage loss in the circuit plus voltage lost in the battery. So it will be written mathematically E equals to IR plus I small r. We can say that EMF has the total energy supplied to each coulomb of the charge by the battery. Here the point is that why the voltage loss across battery? The reason is that it is because the battery has an internal resistance of its own. So we can make a perfect battery, and then like it has its own little resistance inside of it. One more example, that consider a 0.2 volt out of 6 volt will be the voltage loss in the circuit, and 5.8 volt will be available in the required circuit. And if we will describe, then in the equation we will observe that E equals to I capital R plus I small r. So capital R, I capital R shows the terminal potential difference is equal to the current that we are measuring in circuit time, the load resistance or some resistance of the circuit. We know that current going through the circuit is same all around, so it will be same for the battery, and we can say that total voltage available and most of it goes to the circuit, but some of it is lost in the battery due to internal resistance. Here the problem is that we cannot measure the voltage lost in the battery. So that means we cannot actually measure the EMF directly. So what do? We will measure the terminal potential difference at different current. The only way to find is to start with big current, and that means we have not much voltage available for rest of the circuit. And if you will reduce the current, means that it is the increase of load resistance. That means the current gets less, so there will be more voltage available for the circuit keep going back and back, and we end up with the line here. If we extrapolate the line backward to 0, current we get, or we can say current, we cannot measure that directly because of course we cannot do anything in the circuit, and if there is no current flowing, then that's basically a time when there is a maximum amount of voltage available. But it's impossible to get full voltage across the battery. When the current is 0, then gradient or slope of the line gives you minus internal resistance, so it will be minus R. So we can find out the internal resistance experimentally by measuring the terminal potential difference. Here I have a numerical problem for you. Simply in the given question you can observe that there is a current of 0.40 ampere when a battery of EMF 6 volt is connected to a resistor of 13.5 ohm. Calculate the internal resistance of the cell. In the very first step you have to observe that what is the given data. They gave you the value of current, the value of EMF, and the value of resistor. Secondly, you have to observe what they are asking from you. What's the required data? The required data is they are asking you to find out the internal resistance of the cell. Firstly, now you have to think about the given formula, that is equal to E equals to I capital R plus I small r. So you have to insert the value of E, that's 6 volt, I 0.40 will be multiplied with capital resistance, that's a load resistance or external resistance, that is 13.5, plus again the value of current will be inserted here, 0.40 will be multiplied with small r. Now the requirement is that you have to measure small r. So what you will do, simply you have to arrange the whole formula and it will give you the value of small r, that will be equivalent to 1.5 ohm.